Previously on Journey to the East. The study of Hiei-Tori lies just outside the city walls in Kurobiro. Regardless, you are most welcome. My brother informed me of your intent to visit. Perhaps I can answer any questions you might have of the islands? Hiei's inquisitive mind and kind nature steered him away from the family tradition of politics. Zoho, Kage, Umi, Kurin. They all acknowledge the Doryukans, but the Orochi, the scholars of Oten and Dread Magic, they call the new empire a weak farce, one the Archlords will never recognize. Their machines of war spew the substance onto the very land, its decay incarnate. There is one way to resist it, he claims. But of course, Master Zane, the very gift Himitsu once bestowed upon the empire of old, Jade. The party begins to worry that members of the city militia have recognized them, but they soon find shelter in the Uruk Inn. The Venaran owners wave the party inside, away from the peering eyes of the unwelcome city. Our group of wayward travelers prepare for the long trek north. The Yamatori Wasteland is a windswept desert, and while the Korobokaru carved out a home there, traveling the land will still be a challenge. Thetsu and Kiri, the Venaran owners of the Urugin, insist on the party taking some additional food and drink with them. The monkey folk seem anxious to ask questions, but upon closer insight, the party recognizes they have but one question. The family wishes to know if they are indeed those foreigners hired by Lord Ashitori. Once our party confirms this, Kiri beseeches them. You see, Thetsu and Kiri's son has been missing for quite some time. He is a fledgling blacksmith, and the Korobokaru have welcomed the young Venaran to come learn the craft over the years. But with the village now silent, Kiri and Thetsu fear for their son's life. They promise a reward in some fashion. Before they take their leave, Kiri comments on Moonman's necklace. She says how it reminds her of the Wasarita Isle, deeper into the east. As she utters the name of the island, Moonman feels the fraction of an idea in his mind. Like an incomplete thought, half-written, it passes in an instant, but he still feels its echo. The great desert fills our travelers' eyes with yellows, browns, and rolling hills that bend with the whipping winds. They make camp as the sun goes down, opting to play it safe. Night passes without issue, and by morning they pick up the trail. As they progress into the early evening, they encounter a destroyed cart. All goods are missing, and there are clear signs of a struggle. With further investigation, the party determines damage to the cart came from makeshift weapons and fire. Continuing onward, they can see smoke in the distance as they approach the Korobokaru village. The sun gives a soft golden glow as it begins to set behind the smoking village. There is some commotion coming from within the walls, but the party first notices the culprits standing vigil. Nezumi, rat folk of the east. Zane scratches his chin, puzzled. Nezumi natives to this island are usually found further to the east, and they largely keep to themselves. Attacking the Korobokaru, they must have been desperate. Regardless, the party determines it's time to intervene. Opting for stealth, they successfully infiltrate the western entrance into the village. They run into a small patrol of Nezumi armed with short bows and makeshift spears. The rats are quickly slain, but a large, deep-sounding bell begins to ring out from the largest building towards the center of town. The party sprints in that direction. Just outside their destination, our party witnesses several Nezumi flying up into the air, thrown into surrounding walls and rooftops. At the epicenter, a hooded individual stands in an unarmed combat stance. He soon pulls his hood back and takes the party in. The blonde tiefling sports dark eyes, and as he takes a swig from his flask, he gestures towards the party with a quarterstaff. But before introductions can be made, screaming can be heard from within the large building directly behind the tiefling. They all rush in. Inside the town center, the remaining Korubokaru villagers are bound and sit atop a pyre of some sort. They exhale a collective sigh of relief at the sight of our party. But standing between them and certain rescue is a massive, great axe-wielding Nezumi. The fiend offers no words, only hissing growls and swings from the axe that would split a carriage in two. Moonman's shield buckles and splinters under the axe's weight, but he throws the Nezumi off with a brilliant glow. Warden and Zane attack in tandem with a dance of blades and thunder. And the Tiefling flies over the Nezumi, using both his feet and quarterstaff to pummel the monster. Outside the town center, a small group of Nezumi charge in to flank the intruders. One wields a large torch. He means to light the pyre beneath the Korubokaru. But the reinforcements arrive too late, as they enter to see Warden decapitating the Nezumi leader with a lightning-infused blade. His head rolls through the dirt and blood, releasing electricity as it comes to a stop. The remaining Nezumi are dispatched with ease, and soon the Korubokaru are freed. The Tiefling rewraps his hands and kicks his quarterstaff back into the familiar spot on his back. Unsure if a handshake or a bow would be appropriate, the group of strangers just stare at each other for a moment. But the Korubokaru fill their hands with drinks and begin pulling at their rescuers from different directions. A song begins to roll in, like a distant thunder, as the Korubokaru mean to celebrate right away. As smiles begin to tug at their lips, the party formally introduces themselves to Solomon, the Wayward monk and fellow native from the west. The golden sunset has given way to a cool, dark sky, and our party finds themselves with a new ally.